3, 2, 1. We are rolling.
My name is Jessica Harper, and I have pseudoxanthoma elasticum, also known as PXE.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, rolling.
My name is Jessica Harper, and I have pseudoxanthoma elasticum, also known as PXE.
Okay, and rolling.
When I was about 11 years old, my mother noticed a patch of sort of bumpy skin on my neck, sort of looked like chicken skin. So she took me to a dermatologist, and he did a biopsy, and he was very excited by the result because it indicated that I had a disease that was so rare that he had almost never seen it before. Now, either because he didn't know enough at the time or he forgot to mention it, I guess, he didn't tell me about all the possible manifestations of this disease, the potential for cardiovascular problems or gastrointestinal issues.
3, 2, 1, rolling.
So when I was about 11 years old, my mother noticed a patch of skin on my neck that was kind of bumpy, kind of like chicken skin. So she took me to see a dermatologist who did a little biopsy, and he was very excited by the result because it indicated that I had a disease that was so rare that he'd almost never seen it before. He didn't know how to treat it, and either because he just sort of forgot to tell me, or maybe he just didn't really know at that time, he didn't tell me about the other possible manifestations of this disease. You know, that you can have cardiovascular problems or gastrointestinal issues, or most commonly, vision loss.
3, 2, 1, rolling.
So I didn't really worry about the disease too much because I wasn't really aware of what the ramifications might be. But then, many years after I was diagnosed, sure enough, my vision crashed. I was lucky enough to be able to get treatment in the form of injections in my left eye, which I get every month. My right eye is deteriorating too, but it's untreatable. And I have 2 brothers who are also suffering from vision loss. And I think many of us with PXE and other rare diseases sort of feel like we live our lives waiting for the other shoe to drop. You know, when is my vision going to crash again? Or when are some other symptoms of this disease going to kick in?
Very good. 3, 2, 1, rolling.
So that's why I feel that there's a real urgency here for those of us who are PXE patients to do what we can to help research. Wait, when was it again? Sorry.
Okay.
To help as patients to support research. Well, the best thing that I think it's clear that the best thing we can do is provide researchers with a really well-populated data bank of information, or something like that.
Okay, I didn't stop at 3, 2, 1.
So that's why I feel like there's an urgency to this, and I really feel that patients with PXE should be doing their best. Fuck. Wait, we better erase that. I don't want them to hear me saying fuck.
3, 2, 1, rolling.
That's why I feel that there's a real urgency for those of us with PXE to do what we can to support research. And I think the thing that's the best thing we can do is help. Oh, shit.
It's okay. Sorry, hold it.
And I think the best thing is provide researchers.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
That's why I feel that there's an urgency for those of us with PXE to do what we can do to help research. And I think probably the most crucial thing we can do is provide researchers with a really well-populated data bank of information to support their efforts on our behalf. I think that's the best way for us to be proactive.
Great. And rolling.
So that's why I feel that there's a real urgency here for those of us with PXE to help support research. And I think maybe the best thing we can do is provide researchers with a really well-populated data bank of information, of our personal information. I think that's crucial to their efforts, and it's the best way that we can be proactive.
That's great. Good.
This is exhausting.
I know.
That's why.
Okay, and 3, 2, 1.
So I would encourage all patients with PXE and or loved ones who have, encourage.
Yeah, I guess it would be, and or the love, or the
Yeah.
people that have loved ones affected with this disease.
So I would,
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
we're rolling?
3,
Okay.
2, 1.
So I really encourage patients to register their information with this data bank. Believe me, I understand there are privacy concerns. I mean, our health information is so personal and so sensitive, and we don't want to just throw it out there on the web for anybody to see. But I found, when I was exploring the registration form, that we have very specific control over who has access to our information and how they can use it.
Good.
Maybe.
So I would just take that a step further and
Yeah.
say, so you can feel, you don't even have,
Yeah,
you
so
have to
yeah,
repeat it,
yeah.
so you can feel
Comfortable.
comfortable.
Yeah, let me just, yeah.
Sharing is caring. 3, 2, 1.
So I really encourage PXE patients to, wait.
Okay.
So that's why I really encourage PXE patients to register their information with this data bank and to allow access to it. Now believe me, I completely understand about our concern for privacy control. I mean, our health information is so personal and so sensitive. We don't want to just throw it out there for anybody to see. But I'll tell you, while I was exploring the registration form, I found that I had complete control over who has access to my information. There are very, very specific controls for this, so I feel entirely comfortable with that. And also you can update your privacy controls later if you don't feel that they're tight enough for you.
Great. Why don't we just go into the idea that the more people share... Oh, careful!
Oh, shoot.
That was going to happen. The more people... Okay, 3, 2, 1.
So that's why I encourage PXE patients to register with this data bank and share their information if they can. You know, the more information we share, the better shot we have at getting treatments and a cure for this disease. And I want to add that, believe me, I really understand about the concern for privacy. I mean, our health information is so personal and so sensitive. We don't want to just throw it out there on the web for anybody to see. But I'll tell you, I found while I was exploring the registration form for this, that there are very, very specific controls that we have over who can see and or use our information. It's completely up to us to control that. So I feel very comfortable sharing this very sensitive information.
Great. I don't want to cut yet. I just want to go back to the second question, and or the first question, and basically ask you just some personal, really personal stuff, feelings like when you were a kid, how you felt when you were diagnosed, and what did that mean to you back then? I guess not just back then. So when you were a kid, how did the idea of being diagnosed with something like this, the idea of that is this going to be with you the rest of your life, just those really kind of gut feelings that when you got the diagnosis.
Oh, okay. So, for example, after I said more commonly the impact on vision. So wait.
3, 2, 1, roll it.
I remember he suggested that my mother bring me over to Northwestern University.
Stop this. Yeah. It was great. The doctor suggested. I remember the doctor suggested.
Yeah. Wait. Let me just think for a minute. The doctor suggested or invited. Yeah. The doctor invited me to come over to Northwestern to show off my neck to a collection of his colleagues. I imagined going, okay.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
I remember the doctor invited me even to go over to Northwestern University. Yeah, one more time.
3, 2, 1.
I remember the doctor even invited me to go over to Northwestern University to share my neck with some of his colleagues. I imagined going over there, you know, there being a round table full of these old guys with thick glasses smelling like cigars inspecting my neck. And it sort of creeped me out. My mother put the kibosh on that idea, actually.
Really good. And now I would just tie it into, so that's why it's so important that we be brave and share this.
Well, yeah, but this would go earlier.
It doesn't matter. They can cut this anywhere they want, as long as it's on tape. You know what I mean? Just try tying that now into
what?
Into the idea of why it's so important to share the information.
Well, wait. So where am I now?
We're now on the third.
Didn't I already say that? I did that already.
Yeah, I know. I just want to do it just one more time.
Can I do that one again, that Northwestern thing?
Of course you can. 3, 2, 1, rolling.
I even remember the doctor inviting me to go over to Northwestern University with him so that he could show me off to some of his colleagues. And, you know, as a little girl, I sort of imagined going over there at a big round table of doctors with thick glasses on and smelling like cigars, inspecting my neck. It was kind of creepy. My mother didn't allow it, luckily.
Did it affect you, I'm just going to ask you this question, did it affect you later on in your teenage years? When did it actually kick in?
But since I didn't really know what might happen because I wasn't informed, the disease didn't worry me all that much, except for the way it looked on my skin, and so I kind of grew my hair long in my teenage years. But other than that, I didn't worry about it that much.
How about later in life?
Well, I don't want to, that's enough of that. I don't want to get into I could go into a whole thing about my acting career. I think that's too much.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, we got the sharing, we got the diagnosis when you were trying. I am rolling, 3, 2, 1. I can see the paper, just one.
Oh.
There you go. 3, 2, 1.
So, without patience, there is no disease, obviously, but without patience, there's also no cure. And I really think it's up to us, PXEers, to be proactive and to provide researchers and others who want to help us with the tools to do that.
Great, that was great. Let's just do that just one more time, just
Sure.
so they have it
Yeah.
as a second. 3, 2, 1.
Without patience, there is no
Oh,
disease.
sorry,
Yeah.
the tripod just moved.
Oh, okay.
One more time.
Sure.
3, 2, 1.
Without patience, there is no disease, of course, but without patience, there is also no cure. I really think it's up to us as PXEers to help as best we can, researchers and other people who are trying to help us to,
Okay.
one more time, like say. Okay.
3, 2, 1, rolling.
Without patience, there is no disease, but of course, but also without patience, there is no cure. I really think it's up to us, PXEers, to do our best to provide researchers and other people who want to help us with the tools to do that.
Great. I wonder if you shouldn't just cap that with a line that says, so, you know, once again, just so they have it. Just so once again, I encourage you to explore this website, you know, look at it in depth, ask the questions you need to ask, and hopefully you'll be be willing to join.
Yeah, or just say register
Yeah, so have a look at the website, you know, in depth. And I'm sure the people that run the organization will feel very comfortable to answer any questions you might have regarding your privacy or sharing of information.
Well, I think I'd rather just keep it short. Just
Okay.
like it's just a whatever.
Just then, like just an encouragement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I encourage you to consider sharing your information.
Yeah.
Or something like that. To consider registering for this data bank.
Three, two, one, rolling.
Without patience, there is no disease, of course, but without patience, there is also no cure. So I would really encourage all PXEers to, sorry.
Some water. Let me just check your eye line. Okay, three, two, one.
Without patience, there is no disease, of course, but there's without...
Okay. And three, two, one, rolling.
Without patience, there is no disease, of course, but without patience, there is also no cure. So I would really encourage patients with PXE to get proactive and provide researchers and other people who want to help us with the tools to do that. So please consider registering for this data bank.